Beyond the quiet hills, past rivers that glittered like strings of silver, there lay a forest unlike any other. Its trees changed color every time the wind blew, emerald one moment, crimson the next, then gold as dawn. The villagers called it the Forest of Painted Winds, for they believed the breeze itself was an artist, painting life into every leaf. In a cabin at the forest's edge lived a boy named Lior and his grandmother, once a great wind painter. Her special brush, carved from stormwood and tipped with a single skybird feather, now rested above the hearth, its colors faded with age. "The wind has gone shy," she told Lior often, her voice as soft as moss. "It needs someone new to remind it how to dance." Lior loved the forest. He spent hours sketching its moods, trying to capture how colors swirled through the trees like music. But one morning, when he opened the window, the air was still. The forest beyond was grit, its leaves frozen mid-change, its song silenced. "Grandmother," he cried, "the colors, they're gone." She peered outside, her eyes clouded with worry. The heart of the winds must have dimmed. Without it, the forest forgets how to feel. "Then I'll find it," said Lior, determination rising like a storm in his chest. "You'll need this," she said, handing him the old wind brush. "It still remembers how to listen." Lior entered the silent forest. Every step echoed too loudly. The trees, once alive with rustling laughter, stood like statues. He raised the brush. "North Wind," he called, "where have you gone?" A chill swept through the branches, carrying a low hum. "Who dares summon the north?" boomed a voice like thunder wrapped in snow. "I'm Lior. The heart of the winds is fading. Will you help me?" The air swirled, forming the shape of a shimmering wolf made of frost and air. "I will, if you can show courage. Step into my breath, and do not turn away." A blast of icy wind rushed toward him. It bit his skin, tore his scarf, and whispered his fears. "You're too small, too weak. The forest will forget you." Lior gripped the brush and painted a streak across the frozen air. The stroke glowed silver, slicing through the storm. "Even fear deserves color," he said. The north wind howled once, then bowed, bravery painted in frost. "You may pass." Next came the south wind, warm and perfumed with dreams. "I am the breath of hope," it murmured. "But can you still believe when you cannot see?" Lior closed his eyes and dipped the brush into the memory of his grandmother's laughter, painting soft golden swirls through the mist. "Belief doesn't need sight," he said. "It needs heart." The air shimmered with approval. "Dreams remembered," sighed the south wind, vanishing into warmth. East came next, a gentle, whispering current heavy with old songs. "I am memory," it said. "To restore the forest, you must remember what it was before you ever saw it." Lior thought hard. He painted tiny birds, unseen but felt. He painted the hush before rain. He painted love the way his grandmother's hand felt when she held his. The east wind sighed in delight. "You remember enough." Finally, the west wind roared, wild and electric. "I am change. Every color must fade to make room for the next. What will you give to keep the forest alive?" Lior looked at the windbrush, its feather now glowing from use. "If color needs a keeper, then take mine," he said. "Let the winds paint through me." He lifted the brush high. The winds collided north, south, east, west, swirling into a blinding spiral of light. The air cracked with thunder and bloom. When the light cleared, the forest breathed again. Leaves shimmered, amber and violet, live and endless. Lior looked down. The brush had turned to dust in his hand, but a faint trail of color glowed beneath his skin, veins of silver, gold, and blue. He laughed, the sound carried far by the breeze. When he returned home, his grandmother stood waiting in the doorway. her eyes shining brighter than any painted leaf. "The winds know you now," she whispered. "You've become part of their song." That night, the forest hummed in full color again. The villagers swore they saw streaks of light dance between the treetops, painting the stars themselves, and when the wind blew across the hills, it carried Lior's laughter, proof that kindness, courage, and change could make even the quietest air sing in color again.